Why are perpendicular lines important in geometry? Imagine two lines crossing each other and forming a perfect corner that looks like the corner of a square or a rectangle. That's what perpendicular lines do. They meet at a right angle, which is exactly 90 degrees. These lines are like the edges of a box or the corners of a piece of paper. They help us understand how shapes are built and how angles work together. When lines are perpendicular, they make it easier to find and measure angles, which is super helpful in geometry. In many shapes like squares, rectangles, and right triangles, perpendicular lines are the key to their structure. For example, the sides of a square are all perpendicular to each other. This right angle property helps us prove that shapes are what they are and not something else. If you see a corner that looks like a perfect L shape, chances are the lines forming that corner are perpendicular. Knowing this helps us draw and recognize these shapes quickly. When we look at graphing linear functions, perpendicular lines have a special relationship. On a coordinate plane, if two lines are perpendicular, the slope of one line times the slope of the other equals -1. The slope is how steep a line is. So if one line has a slope of 2, the other must have a slope of -1/2 for the lines to be perpendicular. This rule helps us draw lines accurately and solve problems involving angles between lines. Perpendicular lines are also important in real life. Architects and engineers use them to make sure buildings are stable and balanced. When they design structures, they often rely on right angles to connect different parts securely. Tools like rulers, protractors, and compasses help us draw perfect perpendicular lines, which is essential for creating precise diagrams and models. Understanding perpendicular lines makes it easier to learn more about algebra and geometry. They help us see how lines relate to each other and how shapes are formed. Whether you are drawing, solving problems, or designing something, knowing about perpendicular lines gives you a strong foundation. They are a simple but powerful idea that helps us understand the world of shapes, angles, and graphs better.